Shalom, shalom, Yasha Allah, Yahabashim Yasha Brakatah. Hey, this is Soldier Barnabas coming back with a part 2. Questions that our sisters have asked. So I'm just going to answer some questions according to the scriptures. Thus saith the Lord. Alright? We're not going to deal with our feelings. We're going to deal with the scriptures. Thus saith the Lord. Alright? So, we're going to jump right into it. Hope everybody had a positive day so far. All praise to the Most High. Amen. Through His Son Yahushai for guidance, for health and strength. I pray for your families. Everybody that's under the sound of my voice, I pray for your families. I hope everything is positive for y'all today on this Sabbath. But we're just gonna finish. Bring out some more questions. All right. So let's touch on the next question. So, why God punished us for what our ancestors did? Right? It's actually a two-part question here, because the young lady put, why God punished us for what our ancestors did, and because we didn't have anything to do with that. All right, that's what she said. Right? We had nothing to do with that. All right, so let's touch on the first part first. Why God punished us for what our ancestors did? All right, let's deal with that. I'm gonna go Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 5 and 7. Let's bring that out. Slack it, y'all. Trip. It says, this is Lamentations chapter 5, verse 7. It says, I'm going to start at verse 1, actually. I'm going to read verse 1 and I'm going to jump down. It says, remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Right? Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. Now, remember I just said we lost our heritage. That's what. So let me touch on this real quick. So we lost our heritage. We lost our land, everything. Right? We lost everything. Because what happened in slavery? We were driven out from our land from the Romans in 70 A.D. Then we fled into Africa. We lived there for years. Then we were sold into captivity to the so-called white man. Right? So this is the type of stuff that we've been through. After all those years of being separated from your heritage, from your culture, we don't forgot now, right? That's why Jeremiah 17:4 says we'll be discontinued from our heritage, right? So it says, verse 7. It says, our fathers have sinned and are not. So they done died and they're not here no more. It says, and we have borne their iniquity. Right? So they sinned, they was dead and gone now. But we are here and we carrying that burden now. Because they did it, their descendants is the one that went through it, and we are the descendants of their descendants that's here right now. So you see how it trickled down, right? Because the Most High judges the whole nation. All right. So it says, and now we have borne their iniquity, right? So let me see what I want to touch on before I move forward. Let's go, because like I just said, Most High just as a nation. So let's touch on that. Let me go Acts 7 and 7. So the question is, why did he punish us for what our ancestors did, right? Let's see what we did and what we still do as a people. Go Acts 7 and 7. Is that what I want? Yep, that's what I want. And I want Genesis 15 and 13. Genesis 15 and 13. Alright, so I'm going to read Genesis first, and then I'm going to read that Acts. I'm going to show you ain't nothing changed, right? So it says, Genesis chapter 15, verse 13, it says, and he said unto Abram, know of this, Slakia, it says, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. That is what we going through right now. We're in the land. Hush. Calm down. Relax. Good girl. Relax. Because we're in a land right now that is not ours. Right? That we have not known. So that actually is prophecy right now too. Because it's been happening to us over the years. Right? Over the years, we've been going through this stuff, so there's nothing new on the earth. We're still going through the same thing today, right? Right? So it says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. All right, so this is, this could be going into Egypt. This could be what happened to us in America. As you see, it's the same thing. And you're going to notice that throughout the Bible, it actually mentions Egypt and America, dealing with what happened in Egypt and what happened to us in America. It always the comparisons there. So it shows you that there, and then we also been through it here in America, right? And then it also tells you that it would no more would it be said that we will be saved from the land of Egypt, from the people of Egypt, but it will say we will be saved from the land of the north, right? So we be brought from there, and this is the land of the north. And also in Revelation, there's another precept talks about that we the spiritual Egypt and Sodom. America is known for their gayness, known for their pride, right? They're a proud nation, and this pride that they push, and they marches, and they transgender genders agenda and all the stuff like that they do, right? The wickedness that America push forward, that's against the Most High, because this whole society is contrary to the Most High. Everything that's about America is contrary to the Most High, right? But this is the place that they push this stuff at. And where when you look at the back of the American dollar, you see a pyramid and you see an eagle. What is the affiliation with that? The pyramid and the eagle. Well, the pyramid represents Egypt, and then you have the eagle that represents America, right? The eagle, you said, represents Rome, Greece, all the different places, but it represents America. That's their national bird, right? What is significant with those two signs on the back of that dollar? Those both places, the children of Israel served captivity there and was in bondage over 400 years. Right? So this is the type of things that we face as a people, but it happened to us because we disobeyed our God and broke his commandments. So why do we get punished? Because we are actually still doing the exact same things our forefather was doing then. They was breaking God's laws then, and we are breaking God's laws today. But a lot of our people are breaking God's laws because they don't even know what the laws of God are, what sin is. They don't understand that because we wasn't taught that properly. So we are unaware of our sin. But the Most High is waking up our people to show them their wrongs now. So now you have a choice to say, hey, now I know better. Let me do better. Let me take advantage of what a lot of my people couldn't have that passed away or didn't know, that are going to get punished for their sins, but they didn't even know. So now you got a chance to get right. Now you have an opportunity to get right. Take advantage of that opportunity. All right? Don't waste it. Take advantage of that opportunity because you got so many people that didn't have that opportunity. All right? So this is the Most High showing you love. He's giving you a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. Even the Most High gives you second chances, and third and fourth and fifth chances. He said if you fall, if a man falls, he should get up 7 times. If you keep getting up, keep trying. Don't give up. Don't give up. All right? Let's plug this up real quick before we have some issues. Yes, so we did Lamentations. All right. Acts is saying the same thing. All right. Acts 7:7 says, "And the nation of to whom they shall be in bondage, I will judge. And God said God, and after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place." Right. And so the Most High judges as a whole nation. So he says, to the nation, and the nation to whom they shall be in bondage I will judge. So as the nation, he didn't say just the people that did us wrong, right? In slavery. He said as a nation I'm going to judge them. So as a nation we got judged. The same thing, right? That's a just God. Right? Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, Israel. Excuse me, Israel. Right? So as a nation we got judged righteously. It's not an unjust judgment we got. We got a righteous judgment because he told us what to do. He told us how to carry ourselves and what we need to do for success. Now it's on us to be obedient and actually listen to what he said and put it into play. Right? So let's keep it moving. Let me touch on Jeremiah 30 and 16. Jeremiah 30 and 16. And it reads, "Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them." He didn't say some of them. He said, "And all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee, I will give for a prey." It's the same thing what it said in Revelation 13 and 9. It says, let's read it. Let's read it. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. It says, "If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with a sword." You understand? So this is the patience. He says, and here is the patience of the faith of the saints. Right? So it's a lot of things that no matter where we go in the scriptures, we see is actually repetitive. It's nothing new there. The Most High judges as a nation. So the same way how we got judged as a nation, these other nations gonna get judged as a nation too. Right? Let's go to. I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 5 and 13. Isaiah chapter 5 and 13. Jay, what's up, baby? It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge. What knowledge are they that they don't have? They don't have the understanding and the laws of the Most High. They ain't doing what they supposed to do. Because if they had knowledge and understanding of the Most High, they would actually be doing His commandments. All right. That's why Hosea chapter 4 and 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We are destroyed for lack of knowledge. All right. It says, because you reject knowledge, I will reject thee and your children. You see what I'm saying? So, stop. So there's a lot of things that we have to actually humble down and recognize. Am I doing what the Most High want me to do, or am I doing what I want to do? All right. It says, I'm gonna hop from there. I'm gonna jump over to Romans chapter 2 verse 11. Romans chapter 2 and verse 11, and that reads. It says, for there is no respect of persons with God. Right? Because He ain't just dealing with one or two people. He gonna deal with the whole, because good or bad, because we had good people, good prophets, Jeremiah, all these different brothers that was good brothers that was teaching. We all went into captivity. Daniel, all these was righteous brothers. They all suffered some kind of captivity. Right? We still went through these things as a whole nation. So as a whole, we have to come out of it. So that's why a lot of people talk about, well, you could do it, brother. You know, say you look good job, bro, good job. Look, keep doing that for the people, but you're walking off. You don't want to hear it. So what? Long as I'm doing it, our people gonna make it, and you're not doing it. We all gotta do it. We all have to get right. Men, women, children, we all gotta get right. Do you understand me? This is what Christ is coming back to set order. To set order. He came to give us, to be an example to us, to teach us how to do stuff. And then when He come back, He's coming to pass judgment, to set order. You don't want to be trying to get right then, because you ain't going to have no time for that. Your grace period is over at that point. So while we have grace now, while He came back and died for us to have grace to get right, now you have time. You ain't get put to death right away for your sins no more. Now you actually, you know what? Damn, I'm doing wrong. Let me recognize what my wrong is, and let me correct it and go to the right path now and do the commandments. That's what grace is there for. But they teach you in church, grace is just so you can do what you want. That, I'm under grace. So I can still eat pork, I can still sin, I can still kill people, I can still, that R word, you know what I mean? We can still do all these wrong and evil to people, right? And there's no punishment or no consequence for it. And once there's no consequences, there's no justification, no justice there. Right? So we understand what it is we're supposed to be doing. We will do those things. Right? It says, what I want to touch on real quick before I move to the next one. Um, let's touch on the second part of that question, right? So Exodus 24 and verse 5. Exodus chapter 24 verse 5. It said we ain't had nothing to do with it, right? Let's see what happened with that covenant. Exodus 24 verse 5. It says, and he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offend offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord had said we will do, and be obedient. Right? And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it upon the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord had made with you concerning all these words. So that was a sealing of that. So he made a covenant with the people of Israel and say, look, do my commandments, listen, don't do my commandments, you get blessed, you get curses. Do my commandments and listen, you get blessings. Don't do my commandments, you get curses. Right? So he made a covenant. They say everything, like you said, everything you said, we will do and obey. That's what they say. Right? They didn't do that. That is what happened in Deuteronomy 28. Right? That's when you read Deuteronomy 28 and it goes into the chapter 28 verse 1. It tells you about the blessings if we listen, and 15 if we don't listen. This is what happened in the flip side. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? And this is the fun thing. This is the flip side for it. So if we listen, we would have been good. We would have been above all nations, right? Not in the ghettos and stuff like that. We'd have been in the better parts of this land. But we didn't listen. And we are still not listening today, but we are wondering why we actually still going through the things we are going through today. We are still wondering that, right? But we are still doing the exact same thing that got us in trouble in the first place. Right? So, Matthew 27 and 25. Let's go there. Matthew 27 and 25. Matthew 27 and 25. Then answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and our children. This is my mother say the same thing we were doing then, because when they said they was going to listen, it fell upon their children, right? So it's the same thing here where they was trying to crucify Christ. It says, and then answered all the people and said, his blood be upon us and our children. Right? So let it be our business if he die. Right? Then release he Barabbas, right, unto them. Right? And when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. So this is what they said. Let it be upon us and our children. It's the same thing happened to us, because every time we do something wrong, some of that sin, your kids do pay for that. That's why that parable that the disciples asked Yahushua, who did wrong? Was it who did wrong that he was born blind? Was it his parents or was it himself? Right? Because they understood of regeneration, and they understood sometimes you get punished for the sins of your parents, or you could get blessed from the prayers of your parents. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that you could you have to know what you're doing, because there's a judgment for these things that you do wrong, right? And the Most, like I said, he don't deal with us people. He deal with the generation of our people. He deal with the nation of us. All right, as a whole. Um, uh, let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14. All right, because he mentioned this, we ain't had nothing to do with it, right? So the same way how our forefathers, they was here, they died and gone, and we born their iniquity, their sins, and we got punished for that. Is the same thing what happened to the other nations too. All right. So, but that's to show you the Most High is a balanced God. That's how I start off showing you he's a balanced God. So the same way how he gonna deal with us the same way too, if we act up. So they could get punished, but we could get punished too if we don't act right. But he want us to listen so we can get blessings. He's just like a true father. He wants you to do right. We just have to listen. So Isaiah 14 and 21. And it reads, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers. So he says, prepare slaughter for their children. So this, a lot of these white folks, young white folks now, they be talking about, what I do? I ain't had nothing. I wasn't there. It was my forefathers did it. I don't agree with them, but you benefit from it. You're walking on stolen land right now, so you benefit from these things, right? So the same way how we inherited the curses of our forefathers, is the same way you will inherit the curses of your forefathers, right? That's basically what's going on there, right? So you can't not go through the curses and reap the blessings in the last days. That's why the salvation is not for everybody. You can't say you didn't go through what we went through, but then you could reap the blessings with us. That don't make sense. Most High don't work that way. We are the ones that went through it. We are the ones that need saving out of it. Right? So he says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the faces of the world with cities. So, what you gonna pay for what your forefathers did? If they leave and let the tab, who gotta pay it? You're here to pay it. You benefiting the rest, so you can't complain when it's time for the payback of it. You reaping the benefit, ain't it? You didn't do it, but they did this for you on the backs of our people, right? So this is what happened to our people. This is our history. We have to. It's true. It's right here in the Bible. It's in history. But everybody get bent out of shape when you're talking truth now. All right. So the Most High is a balanced God. So that's why we got judged for our forefathers' sin, because it's the same thing they will have to go through too. Right? But when we do right, we all get saved out of it. That's the blessing part of it. All right. How much time? So we got that. How do you know what's the correct teachings? How do you know what's the correct teachings? I'll say, let's go Sirach 19 and 29. 19 and 29. Sirach 19 and 29. And it reads, a man may be known by his look, and one that had understanding by his countenance, when thou meetest him. So, way how he carry himself. Does he have his fringes on? Does he keep the commandments? Right? Does he have respect for himself? Is his pants sagging? You know what I mean? Look, you can tell by his looks, right? It was another way you could tell. You could also tell by, let's get Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. And it reads, the priest's lips shall It says, for the priest's lips shall keep knowledge, and they shall seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. So the things he's speaking, it should be of the scriptures. He should be speaking the laws. He should be teaching the laws. Right? That's how you know what's the right teachings. Because the Most High told us to do that. Alright? What's another way? Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse 15. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Right? So they come in disguise. They tell you some sweet words, right? To try to soften you up. Tell you, hey, you ain't gotta do nothing. All you gotta do is give a tithe. Give me some of that money. Give me some tithe. You'll be good. You'll be all right. Right? But that's not what the scriptures teach you, right? So it says, beware of them, right? Beware of those type of teachers. Beware of those people, right? Let's keep reading. It says, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes, thorns, or figs, or thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, right? You can tell by their works. If they're teaching the right things, the people that they're teaching are going to be doing the right things. It says you can tell by their good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, right? A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. So the people in church, if they're teaching the right things and the